trash on the internet for profit, and here's exactly how you can too, or you can use this to sell your own crap. At the end, I'm even going to show you all the pieces I decided to keep in my home and not sell. Yes, I have trash inside of my apartment, but till then, let's talk about the items with
the highest profit, the things you should actually avoid, and how you're going to create those listings to sell the products. Now, most recently, I actually sold a console table for over $700 and a poster for over $200. So believe me, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to selling trash. Now, the highest profit items are going to be the ones that actually sell for real money, not monopoly money. And I find those two items are most commonly super unique items or items that are regularly used and needed. And when it comes to those unique items, they might take a little bit longer to sell because it needs a specific person that would want it or be able to afford that unique item. But at the same time, those are the ones with the best resale value because it's not some IKEA furniture. Like IKEA furniture hardly ever to never is going to sell for more than what you originally bought it for. But there are plenty of older items that will definitely sell for more than the original value. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with IKEA products. And I definitely think there is a market for selling those items. But at the same time, that falls more under needing to be a everyday item that someone regularly needs. So I almost always grab a piece if I notice it has a lot of detailing, it's real wood, it's super like niche. Recently I sold, like I said, that poster for over $200, and that was because it was a vintage Zodiac poster from 1969. So it was super cool. It was niche. People love Zodiac stuff. It's hard to find. I had so many people messaging me about that piece because of how unique it was. And plenty of people, they couldn't afford it but loved it. So I had to wait a little bit longer for the person that loved it and could afford the price tag that I attached to it, which was $200. I was honestly kind of shocked that it ended up selling for that much. I loved it. If it wasn't worth $200, I would have definitely kept it. And then the other unique piece was that console table for over $700. And that was because that piece was detailed, old, and quality. The countertop was real granite. It was super nice. So it's definitely worth the price tag associated with it. But the other piece that I often sell, which is a lot easier to find in the trash, is everyday items. Because I'm sorry, you're not going to find a $200 poster every single day on the curb. You're not going to find a $700 console table every corner you look. Those are more rare for sure, but the pieces that you can find almost everywhere on a regular basis and I think are still worth selling is those everyday items. But I'm not talking about like a toothbrush. I'm talking about furniture pieces in most cases. And think of things like a nightstand. Almost everybody is going to be looking for and wanting a nightstand in their home. So those sell really well, especially if you have a matching pair. And I'm not saying you're going to get a crazy amount of profit on top of the original value of the item, but if you got the items for free and they sell quickly, profit is profit. I would just avoid certain items in most instances, and that would be big, bulky items and projects. And I feel like projects are pretty self-explanatory, but unless you have the tools, the time, and the talent, and the piece is actually quality, it's probably not going to be worth you fixing yourself. And in most cases, most buyers also don't want to invest in the project, so they just take a lot longer to sell, and they might not sell at all or for that much profit. I would just say the only instance where projects could be worth it is if they are very old, unique items that are very rare to find and people ignore the project element, or it might be more worth it for you to actually take on the project. And when it comes to bulky items, I've learned this. If it does not fit in the back of someone's SUV, in most cases that eliminates a lot of buyers because you have to be the person that has a friend with a truck or you have to rent a truck, and it just leads to a lot of people avoiding the purchase. And also, I'm sorry, but I live in LA, so I also have to account for the fact that any bulky item I want to sell that's from the trash, I have to find room for that in my apartment until it sells. and I just don't have that kind of room. So unless you have a ton of room in your space and you own a truck and are willing to do deliveries, then in most cases I would avoid bulky items unless it's your own furniture. Like if you're selling your own couch, then it makes more sense. Now, if you live in a state where trucks are more common, then it might not be as big of a deal. Now, no matter what you're selling, to get the actual money for the items, you're going to need to list them for sale. And when it comes to majority of the items, I would really only recommend Facebook Marketplace and selling them local. Unless you're looking to sell clothing, then that's a little bit different. But when it comes to furniture and stuff you're going to more likely find on the curb, I would do Facebook Marketplace. I tried OfferUp and Craigslist back in the day, but don't use Craigslist anymore, okay? Like, you can actually see who the people are that's picking up the items on Facebook, and you can look on their profile and make sure they're not AI or fake, and that is a lot more comforting to me when it comes to someone picking it up. Now, as for OfferUp, I still think it's a valid choice, but it's almost a better choice to buy items on OfferUp than it is to sell items, because I find things sell for a lot less on OfferUp compared to Facebook Marketplace. So when you're creating that Facebook Marketplace listing, I want you to get photos of every single angle and information when it comes to that piece. But keep in mind, Facebook Marketplace limits you to 10 photos. So choose those 10 photos wisely. Sometimes that's easier said than done depending on the piece. I'm almost like, please let me have more than 10 photos, especially since in those photos I also include measurements. And I would definitely do this. This will save you a lot of time and headaches. People don't read descriptions, and even if they do, a lot of times these pieces don't have exact measurements. So I will take photos with my tape measure in the photo so you can see the different angles and how big those different elements are in the photos. So no one has to go to the description, no one says it's not exactly what it was supposed to be, and no one's messaging you being like, what's this measurement, what's this measurement, because everybody looks at the photos. I'm telling you, that avoided this problem so quickly. When I just put it in the description, I had people message me on a regular basis saying, how big is it? What do you mean, how big is it? I literally put it in the description. But if it is in the photos, you will get that question a lot less. I'm not saying you won't get that question at all, because you still will. You'll still get plenty of weird offhanded questions, but I tried my best to answer as many questions as I think people might have in the photos. Not in the description, in the photos. This doesn't mean I don't skip the description. I still think that's important. I'm just saying save yourself some time. Now, when it comes to pricing the item, there are two things I am going to do. Thing one is I'm going to go on Facebook Marketplace and I'm going to search said item and see how much the general value of an item like that would be right now and how much people are asking for it. Then if the item isn't something like very common, like an IKEA nightstand, then I am going to use Google image search to see what the value on the resale market online is. Because some of my pieces are a little bit older, so I'm not gonna really go off of someone's console table on Facebook Marketplace. I'm gonna go off of someone trying to sell that old vintage item on a reselling auction site, because that gives you a great idea on what the value of the item is, because it will tell you how much it is going for or how much it is sold for. And sometimes it will tell you the list price of the item, but then it'll tell you the true value of said item, because the more sure you are about how much the value of this item is, the more likely you're going to get that said price. If you're listing it for a crazy amount and you don't have anything to back it up, you're not even going to be secure in wanting that much amount for it. You're going to be like, oh, it's not worth that much, and that vibe comes off. So no matter the item, I like to have a reference point and why I came up with that number and didn't just pull it out of my butt. But you'll also realize sometimes you'll end up just keeping a piece because it's not worth that much money or it fits perfectly in your space. But then you're gonna run out of room and you're gonna have to be better about listing the items because you can't keep clogging up your whole entire apartment in furniture you don't need. Or you're gonna start to realize you've been sitting on a piece in the corner of the room that you didn't realize was worth a ton of money because you've just been putting it off like, oh, whatever, I'll get to it later. And right now you could be racking in that profit if you actually spent the time to list the item and due diligence to research it. But that being said, let's look into all of my favorite trash finds that I decided to keep in my apartment. Now, they're not per se my favorite ones of all because some of them were just worth too much money that it didn't make sense to keep them inside of my apartment. But the ones I did choose to keep, I think have slowly created the space that I love and will forever be transforming. But let's get into my bedroom first. I have multiple free pieces. Like this coffee table right here is probably one of my favorite larger, probably expensive pieces. I've never fully looked it up, but it is solid wood, and the only damage to it is this and a section over there, and I did that well myself. It was in better condition when I got it from the trash than it is now, my bad. And another piece in my room is this one right here. Probably wouldn't have thought about buying myself because the fact that it doesn't have storage in it, and I'm a big person that thinks that pieces of furniture should be able to store my crap, but at the same time, I really do love the like faux stone look to it, how solid the piece is. And I was going to sell this one because I think it would sell really well, but then it ended up fitting in this space nearly perfect, so I decided to keep it. And I also put a mirror I found in the trash on top of it. I think this piece is gorgeous. At some point, I should probably hang it up because there's a bunch of detailing down here that I love too, and kind of gets hidden when it's not hung up. But for now, it's not because it's kind of a heavier piece and it's going to take a little bit of work to hang her up. So I haven't done it yet, but so pretty together. Let me know, what do you think? This piece, or the coffee table, the best finds. Not the only ones though, because I also have this side table right here. I love this piece. It has a broken illusion to it, so it's held together by this metal frame right here. It actually has a giant glass top that goes on top of it, so it's more like a side table that would go in a corner of a room and a big top, but I didn't have that much room, so I kept it like this. And I do have a matching coffee table that I keep out on the balcony. And I'm trying to think of, in my room, there's plenty of other pieces, but some of my favorites would be, I love that I have both of my nightstands are from the trash, and so are the two mirrors that are right there. They were actually in our apartments before renovations, and one of the neighbors kept it but then threw it out later and decided not to put it back up, so I got to use them for a new purpose. And then the nightstands, they're nothing crazy, but they are perfect for the size I needed. And other than that, those are the main pieces I love in my bedroom. But let's head to the living room. First, in the entryway, this stand right here I got for free. I did buy kind of expensive baskets though for it because I felt like they fit perfectly right there. And then into the rest of the space, the dining room table was free, so was the chair. It is kind of like damaged in sections though, so definitely not perfect. And one of the funnest things I found in the trash was this spinning wheel right here. I'm telling you, everyone that comes into the house wants to spin that. And then same thing with this cooler right here. I have one of them in my bedroom too, but it actually does need a part, so they're not fully working. I just use them for storage and decoration, honestly, mostly storage in my room. And then the TV stand was free. And then what else was free over here? The coffee table. So I got the coffee table for free, and it also has a matching side table. I got that side table for free too. At some point, I want to sell the side table and the coffee table because I don't think it fully works in the space, like size wise, so I want to sell both of those. I have not listed them yet. Then same thing with, I want to sell that side table too. I just haven't gotten to it yet. And then back over here, I got this side table. I think it's more like a nightstand for free. It is definitely a project piece. It needs a lot of work, especially on the top. The sides aren't too bad. Like honestly, it's in pretty decent condition. I have not decided if I'm going to keep it or sell it because I ended up searching up. It's kind of expensive. Right now at auction, this side table is listed for $4,000. It does have an online estimated value though of like 1,000 something, but still that's pretty expensive for a side table. So I have not decided if I'm going to fix it up and sell it because it's worth so much money. I do like it though, so I might keep it, but either way, I would need to fix it up if I'm going to keep it or if I'm going to sell it. But TBD on that. I only recently just put it in the living room. It's been kind of sitting in the corner of a room for a while, and I didn't realize it was worth anything. And then the only other thing that I can think of is over in my bar area. Ignore the wood and paint mid-projects. But in the little bar area right here, for free was, actually I was gonna say this bar top, it actually was, so I got a bed frame for free, and then I ended up getting rid of that bed frame and using the wood here and another spot in the apartment. So technically this wood top was free. And then artwork, this one I bought, the one behind it I got for free, and this one I got for free, and I love this one. It is The Essence of Innovation, and it's talking about how the patent company a while ago said that everything that's going to be invented was, and so many things have come since then. We've broken the mold of what they thought was possible. I hope you enjoyed this video on my adventure selling trash. If you want to see stuff in more detail on the pieces that I've found and that whole entire adventure, I do post it on short form content on basically every single platform, and I will be coming back next Wednesday with a new video, and I really want to do an estate sale video. So if you have any tips and recommendations, let me know, because I want to do a video on what estate sales are like, what you can really find in that whole adventure. So stay tuned for that, and have a great rest of your morning, evening, night, whatever it is for you. I'll see you Wednesday. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.